Hi, today we will learn Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia about the and you. The real the in Indonesian language is si or sang. Si blah blah blah, sang blah blah blah. The is si or sang. But this si and sang are most used for fable or myths or folk stories or like poem, old literature. Even though you will find it also nowadays, but it's kind of rare. It's not used for daily life. Not often. And the use of the nowadays is in different formation than this one. This one is kind of like rare but still being used, but more into fable, more into myths or old literacy, something like that. That's why we will talk about si and sang in the next video. Yeah. The nowadays, or like in the common years or something like that, most used with something or blah blah blah, and then ini is this, or blah blah blah, and then space itu, that. This cat, that cat, just to say the cat, instead of say si something or sang something. Or the most polite one, the most formal one is blah 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 and then tersebut. Sebut is being told or being talked about or what has been said. Sebut. Tersebut, it means has already been said before. Ter is, let's say, already. And sebut has been said or has been told or talked about before. Yeah. That's why we use the with this formation. You can use with ini or itu, or if you want to make it really formal, tersebut. In daily life, you will find this one and this one more often than the tersebut. Tersebut, as I said before, is like so high or really so formal, something like that. You will hear it in the president's speech or written in the newspaper, in book, something like that. Or if the person really formal and they're in the formal conversation, it's possible to hear the tersebut. Yeah. And before, when we have to learn about it, we use this one too, just to say it. Because in Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia, we don't have it. Instead of it, we just say that cat or that book, this book, that book, with this one. And can also with this one. Yeah. Because this is the most high one or respect, I will just put star here as reminder. But all of them formal. If we want to say the man, we use this one, laki-laki or pria. Laki-laki, even though we repeat like this 2 times, laki and then stripe, and then we put laki again, it doesn't mean it's more than one. In this case, laki-laki is one or is man. or you can choose pria, man, man. If we want to say the women, we use wanita or perempuan. Of course, we put it here because we use the ini, itu, or tersebut just to say the. And if you want to say the person, the human being, person or human being is orang. Put it here. If you want to say the cat, the cat, the ball, the book, we use kucing for cat, bola for ball, buku for book. Put it here. Example, we want to say the man, choose any you like. Laki-laki ini or laki-laki itu or pria tersebut. The female or the woman. Wanita ini, perempuan itu, wanita tersebut. If you hear, it's my cat again, I don't know why, but every time I make video, they always like make video about meowing or doing something, so just ignore it. It's not a weird sound, it's my cat. Laki-laki, pria, wanita, perempuan, orang. And now, animal and thing or things. Cat, kucing, bola, ball, buku, book. The cat, kucing ini, or you can choose any you like here. The ball, bola itu, or bola tersebut, any you like. Don't forget we put the space here. Of course, because when you have to put the, you put space first and then you put the space ball, the space cat. The book, buku ini or any buku, any you like. Yeah. Next week we will learn about si and sang. But the most common one is using these words. Yeah. And now we will talk about when you have to say you in Indonesian conversation in daily life. Even though for expatriate or people who learn Indonesian language or Bahasa Indonesia the first time, we are kind of okay for if you say you with kamu or if you say you with anda, because we understand you still learn, so it's okay. Like before I said, if you meet the first time, you say you with anda because it's to show politeness, or for someone senior, Mr. President or Professor, we call with anda, or for someone you just meet the first time, you call with anda, but it's considered as old-fashioned. Even though it's right, but it's old-fashioned, especially for younger generation, younger than me. My generation or me still use this anda. At least me, I still use that. But I think younger generation, they think that this anda is too much or so high. But we have problem if we use kamu is not polite because kamu, I will put the anda with star 3 or this one 2 maybe, yeah, to show that this is really like that, or 4, this is 3. But if we use kamu for someone we just meet, or for our senior, especially in the first time meeting, it's of course not polite because kamu is used for friend or your like people in the same at the same age with you. That's why I will talk about it here to make it clear that how we say you in Indonesian language in daily conversation, formal conversation, or typing message, chatting. The you is more specific. It's not kamu, but it's different. Because we use kamu only for friend. Okay, I hope you're not confused with what I want to say here. Let's say this part will be fulfilled by any word here, just to say you. The you here, the you here, the you here, you here, that is not anda and not kamu, because anda is too old-fashioned or too high, and kamu is not so polite for someone you just meet for the first time or your senior. So how if we want to say then? How we have to call you? Di mana, di and then space here. Di mana, at where, it means where. Di mana, tinggal. Tinggal is stay or live. It just want to say where do you live. Di mana, where. At where. Tinggal, live. The you here, you choose. I will talk about it later. And now second sentence. Senang bertemu dengan, and then you choose from here. Senang is glad or happy. Bertemu is meet. Dengan, with. Happy, meet with. Happy, meeting with, or glad. Senang bertemu dengan, then we put the you from here. This one, apa, what. Kabar, news, and then the you here from here. Apa kabar, it means how are. We just want to say how are you. But in this case, apa is what, kabar is news, so it means like what news. Even though we want to say how are you. Apa kabar, and then the you. And this one, if you are in the room and when you have to say you, but the you is more than one. The you is plural. In Indonesian language, you cannot say with only one. If the you is plural, you have to repeat the you, and then don't forget put stripe here. And then you have to put the sekalian. You repeat the word, use stripe in between, and you put sekalian. Se is one, is prefix. Kalian is you guys. Sekalian, it means you all. You guys all, you all. Sekalian, it is one word. Sekalian. You have to put like this. Okay, now we will learn about it. First, if the person that we want to call with you older than us, and it's in formal occasion, like in the class you're studying, or in the university class, or in the meeting, in the conference, or in formal, can be also for daily life. If the person old enough to be your mother, or old enough to be your father, and then older than that, so the base is like old enough to be your mom or your father, or older, you have to say you with bapak for male. I don't have to put the symbol here because you can see from the color. Ibu for female. Bapak male, ibu female. Bapak is sir or Mr. Ibu is Mrs. or Madam or Ma'am. Even though bapak can be also father and ibu can be also mother, but in this case, of course, it's not father and mother. In this case, sir, Mr., Mrs., Madam, Ma'am. So when you have to say you, when you have to put it here, you put this as you. Because if you call the person kamu, it's not polite. If you call the person kamu instead of ibu or bapak, it's not polite. Yeah. And now, if that person is the friend of your mom or the friend of your dad or your father or mother, it means like you're a bit closer with them. You feel a bit closer because they are friend of your mother, friend of your father, or your friend's parents. Of course, it's kind of in the formal, non-formal situation. You can call them with paman or om. It means uncle, even though they are not your uncle. You call you with paman or om. And you call the you with bibi or tante. Even though they are not your own, but you call them for you, you put the bibi or tante. Yeah. And now we just go to this part. In the formal occasion, like in the class or in the meeting, conference, or like inside the church, we want to say you guys in formal, informal, say you guys, formal formation. We say saudara, you, for male and female. Let's say my boss or my professor want to say you to me instead of he or she called me with my name. He or she called me with saudara because can be male and female, or in this case for me, because I'm female, saudari. The you instead of ira, instead of kamu, because kamu is not polite, it's like kamu, because he or she try to respect. Saudara, saudari. Yeah. So the you can be also saudara, saudari. And if I want to say to like my brother's friend, or my, how to say it, yeah, it's used for formal occasion, saudara or saudari. I come to his office, my brother's office, I can call saudara or saudari also in the formal occasion. Yeah. Now, if it's formal and also daily occasion, not so formal, and that person is older than us, let's say older 1 month, 4 months, 5 months. In Indonesian, it's kind of you have to respect the hierarchy of junior and senior. So we always try to find out who's the older and who's the younger. Even though it's like, of course, maybe if 1 week or 2 weeks, okay, but at least 1 month is kind of also older. 1 month, 4 months, or even 5 years, 10 years, 20 years older. And not old enough to be called uncle or aunt, or sir and Mrs. We call with kakak or kak, and then the name. Kakak for male and female, kakak, or kak ira. You put the name here. For male, you can also use this one, abang, older person, 1 month, 4 months, 5 months, or even 5 years, 20 years, but not old enough to be called with this one. This one can. Or bang, and then the name, Bang Ari. Or mas for male. For mas, you have to put the name, mas. Or for female, bak. In this case, for bak, you can put the name, you can just use bak without the name. That's why I put this one. It's tentative. Yeah. So, if they are older than you, even though it's only like, I don't want to be sounds ridiculous, like maybe two weeks or so, they're older, you have to call with this one. Because if you just call with name, it's not polite unless the person say it's okay. But most of Indonesian people, we use the hierarchy, especially for older people. We have to say the kakak, abang, mas, kak, bang, bak. We have to say that to show we respect. Even though, if you watch again the previous video about family relative, family relation, it means older brother, older sister, older brother, older brother, older sister. Even though they are not our sibling, but in Indonesian language, when we have to call you for older people, we have to use this one. And this one if they're in certain age. How about for younger? Sometimes we call with adik, Adik is for male or female, or this is the shortened version, Dik, and then the name. Let's say senior 5 years older than me, call me Dik Ira, like that. That's why, let's say, di mana Bapak tinggal? Where do you live? But this you is for the sir. You cannot call with this person, di mana kamu tinggal? Oh, it's not polite, really. But if you're expatriate, we're okay for that. But if you're like learning furthermore, this is the good way to say it, the correct way. And now, kamu is for friend. Di mana kamu tinggal? Senang bertemu dengan kamu. Apa kabar kamu? Tapi kalau why I talk Indonesian language? Sorry, but if you guys, like, how are you? But the you is you guys more than one, because this is how are you, but the you is more. In this case, we don't put the kamu sekalian because it's not polite. So instead of say apa kabar kamu sekalian, we say teman for you as friend, but more than one. That's why the color same with this one. Apa kabar teman sekalian? How are you, friends? So if you want to say apa kabar for your friends, more than one. Apa kabar teman sekalian? Only for friends. I will just put love here to make you understand. This is to love. So it's if it's more than one. Yeah. And this one, apa kabar kakak sekalian? Let's say we just want to say, how are you, seniors? The seniors like 5 years or 10 years older than us. They're more than one. We don't say apa kabar kakak, but apa kabar kakak sekalian. How if in the room is Sir and Mister? Of course, we say apa kabar Bapak and then Ibu sekalian. In this case, if we mix Bapak Ibu, because it's not repeating the same word, we don't use the the stripe. We just put Bapak Ibu sekalian. How are you? But the you is Mr., the sir, the man, the women, but old enough to be your father, mother. Apa kabar Bapak Ibu sekalian? Or in this case, you want to say the mas and bak. Apa kabar mas, bak sekalian? Apa kabar saudara sekalian? For like college or friends in the formal occasion. Saudara is male and female, but if you want to mix, can also. Apa kabar saudari sekalian? To be specific, to say the saudara male, the saudari female. Like that. Even though if you just say saudara, it's okay because it's for male and female. Okay, thank you for watching.